episode 1, Halloween Horror Nights. Wherever they are, somewhere in the background. So many DMs on Instagram, and I'll put my Instagram somewhere below on the side or above. Orlando. They have an event every year. They also have it in Hollywood too, September the 1st through November the 4th, one of the longest runs. It literally is any weirdo's dream, and I'm a weirdo. So if you are one too, it just speaks to the weirdo inside of me, you know? I did to like a birthday party in elementary school, and it was like the jumpy house and hot dogs and nachos and, you know, just all the little things that kids love. This would be like the equivalent of that, but for an adult. You know what I mean? It is all out themed foods, themed haunted houses, and I'm talking about names that you know and love, TV shows, movies that you watch, that you fell in love with, characters that you are attached to. You actually get to walk through these houses and experience these moments for yourself. I mean, it's just, but the streets of Universal Studios have been transformed into this land of spookiness and creepiness, and you know, around every corner is something for you to discover once you enter the front gates. It runs every year. This year, September the 1st through November the 4th. Select nights. I'm gonna kind of take you through how I approach Halloween Horror Nights and kind of show you, try to knock out those plane tickets and lock down your hotel. That's usually some of the first things that you kind of want to do. I will add some screenshots in there somewhere, kind of show you a little bit of how to get through the Universal website and lock in that hotel day. Most people have a preference when it comes to how they travel. I would say lock those things down first. You gotta have a place to stay. I mean, that's our motto when we travel. We always say to ourselves, like, we gotta have a place to stay first. There are daytime tickets that start at about $79 and go up from there. Multi-night tickets work the best. We traditionally will plan our trip for Halloween Horror Nights based on the night that it's actually over. Let's get there on a Wednesday and hit the ground running, and then depart on like a Monday when the event, it doesn't run. It just kind of makes more sense for us to do it that way. So one night ticket is great. That pricing scale, it kind of goes up the closer you get to the event because it's an individual ticket, so it is supply and demand. They do offer something called an Express Pass that will allow you to minimize the amount of time that you're going to stand in line. Now, let me be honest with you and tell you, because I am an Express Pass person, 100%. But I will definitely say, especially for someone that's like an out-of-towner, and most of my perspective is going to be from an out-of-towner, I think that Express Pass is to your advantage if you can afford it, because you know that you're only going to be there for a limited amount of time. An out-of-townies over here, you know, we have a period of time that we can be away from home to go to this event, and it just makes more sense to have more freedom to move around and less of a restriction, because you have to stand in line for an hour or 2 hours to see your favorite haunted house. So I would definitely recommend an Express Pass. We think it best to use a multi-day ticket. That allows you to go multiple times throughout the run of the event. I will put some screenshots in there somewhere so that you guys can kind of see a multi-night ticket. It allows you specific amount of days that you can go throughout the event. There are other add-ons. I will add some screenshots for those too. Scream Early ticket, that is like an individual ticket that you can buy. I believe it's priced at about $40 this year. It allows you to be able to go into the park a few hours before the event starts, and you can kind of move around freely within the event. And then once the changeover happens at around 5 p.m., all of those regular ticketed guests that were there in the daytime, they do leave, and then the park switches over, and in between that transition, we all as people who are staying in the park will end up staying in holding areas or certain sections around the park that they hold you in. And then whenever the event has made that transition into Halloween Horror Nights, those holding areas are released directly into specific haunted houses. So this year, they are having a Stranger Things house. I mean, we're talking about Vecna, we're talking about the Demobads. I mean, we're talking about the Upside Down. We're talking about running up that hill. You know, I want to run up that hill. You know, we're talking about playing that guitar. You know, I mean, geez. There are so many iconic moments within this last season. I mean, every year Universal really does do their best to try to bring recognizable franchises to the event, things that people have seen, connected to, identify with, and this year they really blew up the spot with Stranger Things 4 as a haunted house. I mean, need I say more? Universal does a really, really good job with identifying who their audience is, who their target audience is, and pulling from their desires and making it come true. I mean, it's pretty fantastic, you know, that they paid attention, that they saw that people were excited about Stranger Things, you know, that people were excited about The Last of Us, and they said, you know what, we are going to work our butts off to acquire the rights to these properties, to be able to bring these things that affected so many people, you know, that so many people watched, that so many people felt a connection with, to bring these things to life. And so, you know, big ups to Universal, because they really work their butts off to bring us as the fans things that we desire, you know, once in a lifetime opportunities, you know, these things that you can't get any other place. You know, they really maximize on that element that you can't get this. You can't just go anywhere and get these experiences. We're gonna bring you something that we know you're gonna love. We know that you have connected with it already. So we are gonna walk through The Exorcist. Granted, it's the new version, but let's just be realistic. Just saying The Exorcist has me looking around every corner to see what's going on. That's just 3 of 10 haunted houses that we get to walk through. The Chucky house as well. I mean, you know, My Friend to the End, Heidi Ho. You know, I mean, as a kid, Chucky terrified me. I didn't own any dolls because I was too afraid they would come to life and murder me in my sleep. I don't know. You know, the experience is going to be wild. I can't wait. This event is really gearing up to be a fantastic adventure through spookiness and fear and chills and I don't know what. And, you know, I can't wait for it. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, like, share, subscribe, turn on that bell notification for me. See you in the next.